So where we were was that I had handed my paper that I had edited, the other kid's paper, back with TC Pothead Fleming written on it.
Thank God you wrote that down. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if anyone's interested, we're still in the same day, but a couple hours. Had to get some food.
Oh, recording.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
wise. Yeah.
If that matters.
Yeah.
I'm
sure they care, dude. There was the whole meatball sub thing.
They were delicious. They were delicious meatball subs.
If you're somehow starting on this, just go back one.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one before it.
Yep.
Recommend you start there.
And so I read TC Pothead Fleming on the thing. He was like, "Oh, you're a pothead." I was like,
spiritually, the way I'm Catholic.
whatever you want the answer to be, just assume it's that. Can we do that?
Yeah.
So then a couple days later, he was like, "Yo, I'm holding."
Okay.
Let's
go.
No
way he said that.
No,
this
of course
not.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember what he said. This is how I would say it now, you know.
You say that all the time, dude.
I do. And so this is like kind of like when I try not to think about it too much because like it is like kind of heartbreaking. Like, and I'm not going to be able to convey it. Like, you know, the listener's not going to have the emotions attached that I do because, you know, it's life. They didn't live it. But I had a French teacher who, you know, was definitely one of the ones.
How do I turn my headphones down?
I think it's this dial.
I think I moved them.
Yeah. So I had a French teacher, and she was a unique sort of teacher. Like, you know, you'd see this type, the one where like they did believe in discipline, so like there were going to be squabbles, but like they could see the light, so like they did like you as one of like the best students, and it was very much like a.
This is French?
Yeah, being like focused on like how I'm gonna fix this. You know,
okay.
Like not the teachers who are like, you know, I see Will and I must squash it. It's not purely just
I
that.
want this kid to grow.
Yeah,
maybe.
like I want him to grow. In my opinion, which I would say that she was incorrect about this, but whatever. Like, it's not going to be able to occur without me like fucking keeping him in line.
Okay.
Which, like, I don't know, those fights I just find to be universally counterproductive.
Just so the audience can picture this, is she a native French speaker?
I don't know.
Does she have like an accent?
I'm trying to remember.
Did you have to call her Madame?
That's a great question. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Did
I don't know. Like, pronounce your name funny, or were you even TC in French
class? We were
class?
supposed to pick. I went with Theory, whatever.
Theory.
Like Thierry Henry.
Thierry.
The Arsenal.
Like THIE. I'm not correcting your pronunciation.
You're correct.
I'm saying the way I've mentally
I'm not
said
saying
it.
I'm right about it.
This is the first time I've said it out loud, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think when I was a kid, I really leaned hard on like it started with an F. Like I think that was how
it's a TH.
But I don't think that's correct. I think that's like a simplified. Like really, it's a word and it's a sound in French.
Fyodor, dude, is Russian same name in Russian. I have to think. You know, so maybe you're onto something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, Fyodor Dostoevsky is Theodore. Is Fieri?
Can't be close to essential information.
The other thing it reminded me of was Fiorello LaGuardia.
That's true. Yeah,
maybe related. That's an F. I'm trying to help.
Yep.
You know. Anyway.
I'm
just trying to picture this lady because she's like, oh, TC. Because a French lady chastised me in my youth too. So I'm kind of picturing that. Or she just a lady in Plano, like, knock it off. Bonsoir. You know, like
more of the first one.
Okay. Yeah, that's much better, dude. I mean, to picture. And depending on where you're going with this,
you know, I don't know if this is. I know it's not PC. Like, you know, I don't know. Whatever.
Talk about French people, dude.
No, I'm talking about her. The defining feature of her was that, like, she had a claw hand. I shouldn't have said that while you were drinking. I apologize. I think you almost spit out your water there.
I was thinking about something else.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were totally. What was it?
Before we started this, we agreed that we publish, dude. No, we're not editing, you know?
So I mean, if you like,
I forgot, dude.
You don't want to draw like a line of like, I got to take that out or else you won't do it, then like whatever. But
I don't. I just don't
like you're
push
asking
me.
You're asking me my memories of her. Like,
no, I agree.
You know that like that's what would float to the top of any human mind of anyone I've ever met.
What it was the thing I was thinking was even more offensive than anything that I could have been thinking in relation to the claw, and I don't want to share it. That's
fine.
what it
was.
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I had gotten detention from her. So, like, I had to stay after school that day. But, like, for the detention, she knew that I liked music. So she had prepared a cassette tape of people speaking French in popular songs. Like, some, like, Phil Collins song.
Just for you?
Yes.
What? Your madame made you a mixtape?
Like, she thought that this would be a way that I would learn French that I would connect with more so than, like...
That's lovely.
It's amazing. Never got to hear the tape because the guy said, let's go smoke weed. And I was like, either I can go to this detention or I can smoke weed. And I was like, yeah, so I'll be at the 7-Eleven across the street rolling up fat ones.
Damn, dude.
And it breaks my heart to this day.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, like as a kid, I was definitely like, that kind of sucks. But like by the time I got to Excel, I mean, I thought about it a lot at Excel.
Did you?
I had a lot of guilt about it.
Did you?
I mean, like, she was fucking, like, she was really, like, giving her heart to it,
Yeah,
like,
she
was
mixtape,
fucking,
dude.
like, doing the Lord's work, like, quite, like, living the Bible. And fucking, like, I was, like, that's a situation where, like, she's, like, really be hurt by it. And, like,
I would think so.
Was.
Yeah. I don't mean to chuckle. Yeah. I'm sure she was.
Yeah, I know for sure too.
You can't really write it off as like, nah, dude. Teachers don't
I know about
like
the tape because like she went and told my parents like, hey, he didn't show up, and like I had this thing, goodness. And like I don't know. To be honest, it like really bothered me.
I think that's a feeling to pay attention to.
I do
because you didn't need to do her like that, and weed is tight.
It is tight,
for sure, but. Well, I don't mean to guilt 13-year-old in distress TC too hard for that.
Yeah, but tough situation, doing the best I can.
You were clearly, trying to figure some stuff out.
And I mean, like,
plenty of
it's like a lot of like, depending on what side you look at, you can feel certainty in both directions. Like, should a teacher who like has made that attempt to reach out like have that met with no show? No, they should not. But like, and maybe
people, fuck detention.
Maybe people, sure. I mean, in the first place, she's giving you detention.
Yeah,
like,
are they still doing that? How about you just
be chill? I don't know.
I have no idea either.
The kids too.
Yeah.
But so fucking. The other side of it is like, I was interested in impressing this guy. Like, I was interested in this drug for sure, and like, I don't know, dude. Like, I didn't know any of his friends. Like, that was like, I was interested in the social circle. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like,
you're getting the call to the big leagues of being cool.
Yeah.
And the least cool thing you could do is say, guys, Madame whatever made me a mixtape. I can't break her heart like that.
Exactly.
Like, although it's saying that sentence, it's like, that actually is what's cool. And I think that's what your feelings are telling you.
So for anyone, for the Dallas listeners, specifically the ones that, like are in this area, I went to Bowman Middle School. It's at the corner of Jupiter and Park. We walked across Park. Used to be catty corner. There was an Eckerd drugstore. You remember Eckerd? Were you ever around for that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, dude, they were done by the time you were down here.
Yeah, not familiar.
But yeah, there was an Eckerd drugstore. There was a 7-Eleven, still 7-Eleven. We walked across Park to that 7-Eleven. There was a payphone there, which is an anachronism now.
Sure.
He fucking rolled the joint in like the bottom of the payphone, the bottom of the booth kind of thing. Like if the phones, like it wasn't like a walk-in kind of thing. It was bolted to the wall and had like the metal kind of cage around it.
Yeah.
And so like the bottom of the cage, like you rolled it on that surface.
Okay. What are you rolling in?
Just zigzags, whatever.
Okay.
We discovered we didn't.
Dang, in 8th grade, this kid's just popping off a J. That honestly is like, I couldn't do that in 8th grade.
It blows my mind a little bit thinking about it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. This lady threw you into a world of deviance when she put you at the bad kids' desks. Area.
I know that.
Yeah,
I've thought about it often.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it only gets worse from there, obviously, given the subject nature of this podcast.
Exactly. But yeah, so we didn't have a lighter. So there's a Brookshire's across from the 7-Eleven. We walked in there.
7-Eleven sells lighters?
Yeah, but we were stealing it.
Oh, nice.
And the 7-Eleven, it's small and it'd be easy to see it.
Okay, so you case both joints.
I mean, I don't think it was... I don't... Like, me, I'm a passenger, dude. Like, they were like, let's go to the Brookshire's. I need a lighter.
Okay. What is Brookshire's?
And I was walking along.
It's like a grocery store?
Yeah.
Oh, much easier to steal a lighter from... Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And then, so that little shopping mall on, I guess that would be the south side of it. There's a park with like a walking path.
Okay.
We just walked along the path, passing it back and forth.
How many fellas?
Me and 2 other dudes, him and one of his friends.
And these are kids from your school, but not at your like desk group, or like they're not even from your school.
They're from my school. They were. It was the kid that was next to me in English class, and one of his friends.
Yeah, but these other kids. That's what I'm saying. Like you said, you never met them before.
It's just that I mean, again, we're brushing up against a situation that, like, in today's modern culture is somewhat delicate. But like, I'm just being honest about it. Like, they were Mexican. I had Mexican friends, but like, there was a certain, like, it's definitely a large delineation between like second generation and third generation, that kind of thing. Like, I had a lot of third generation Mexican friends. I did not have like any second generation Mexican friends. These were all second generation.
And that was
Mexicans.
pretty common, like, of your milieu at Plano?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Interesting.
And I mean, like, it's also a neighborhood thing. Like, he lived near the school. I took a bus because it was farther.
Okay.
That's always been an interesting thing. Like, in my head, it was always coded that, like, if you walked to school, like, you were less affluent. But that is like it's not universally true.
Definitely not.
But like I grew up, like, if someone walked, it was like, I mean,
all those Highland Park kids,
most of my friends were the people who walked, like, I liked them.
Yeah, well,
I identified it as like which, like, it's just a quirk of the particular situation I was in. Yeah. The nicer neighborhoods that fed into that school were farther away.
I think at Princeton, it was like there were kids who lived in apartments, and the place by the school were houses. So, like, by definition, at least in that setup, it's like, so they weren't like the least affluent, and the most affluent like had to live farther away. So because like the property had to to fit the big ass house.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like, I always think of kids who walk to school nowadays as like they're doing all right, because that's like idyllic. Like,
I mean, it probably just matters. It's different place to place, I think, is what's being illustrated. There is no universal.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think it's weird that I think like that's the most ballin' kind of childhood you can have. I think it's probably because
it does sound ball. Like, whenever my dad would talk about, like, he could walk home at lunch and like grab a PB&J from his house.
Yeah,
that sounds dope.
I did that at work. That was one thing that was nice at living downtown. Yeah, and I do remember thinking about. I was like, this is what they were talking about all that time. Because when we first got the dog, like, I would go. That's when I started, like, to let him out.
Yeah,
and just pop off, grab a lunch. Anyway, I think I've taken us far enough astray, dude. TC Pothead Fleming. All right, so he's rolling a fucking zigzag.
Yeah, we walk along and smoke it.
You're passing it.
I, make the, like, loop back to the school.
Is this like mids, like 90s mids, or like especially dank?
No, I don't remember.
You got pretty high?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Like, a lot of it was like waiting, like, when's it going to kick in?
Okay.
But so, my parents picked me up, like, I couldn't ride the bus because I had detention. So I knew that they were going to be, like, back there waiting in the car.
Dang.
And so, like, I just, like, walked up, got in the car, and I had because we were having so many, like, conflicts, they tried a number of things to alleviate that.
Hold on. Is the baby getting, is it too much?
I don't think they can hear it. Okay. I could be wrong.
Okay, let me know if it gets to be too much. Sorry, it was distracting me a little bit. I apologize.
Doesn't bother me.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was going to therapy. Like, I had an appointment with a therapist.
I meant to ask you about that. Like, any measures leading up to Excel, but not to derail it now. But okay.
All kinds of them.
Okay, yeah. That's an interesting discussion too, but we're having this one. So, okay. So you had a therapist appointment.
Yeah, and just the distinctive thing is like, and knowing what I know about like how quickly smoking a joint works now, I don't know how to reconcile this because it doesn't take an hour to kick in.
No.
Yeah. So, you know, I bet that there was like a lot of just like expectation, you know, of like, I think I'm supposed to be high. So like, I'm going to imagine that I am.
Sure. But setting.
I remember I have a very distinct memory of like just getting into the like office and like sitting down on the couch and like leaning back and just being like, my mind feels clear. I feel very chill. I would like to do this as much as I can, like as often as I can going forward.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think Wiz Khalifa said something similar about his first time smoking. Like, I never not want to be high, like if possible. Like, this is just my preferred mode. Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, so, you know, from there, if it's possible to acquire weed, I'm attempting to. There's a kid down the street who like would definitely be happy to rip me off and like, you know, ask $40 for $5 worth of weed and just be like,
okay, yeah, I didn't want to derail, but I'm glad you brought it up, dude. I'm very interested in like how weed was purchased in Plano for you as an 8th grader.
Yeah, there's a kid down the street. His parents were divorced. Like they were kind of wild. Like the whole scene.
Sure. Latchkey.
Yeah,
life?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had an older sister who was a big deal at the school.
Okay.
Just one of the top ladies.
Say no more.
And so,
pothead variety.
Yeah,
bonus points.
Yeah. And so he just seemed like the kind of guy like that I didn't know him well. I hadn't had a lot of conversations with him outside of this. But I was like, you know, can I buy weed from you? And he was like, yeah, I might have sometime.
Okay.
I remember there was one time that because I'd probably bought weed from him like 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
And then I had a friend who had an older sister that he was very close to. Again, the parents were separated. It was just his mom trying to watch both of them. His dad, I think his dad still lived in Venezuela. He was, he had Venezuelan roots, and his sister was dating a guy who could like pretty reliably get it. Like he dealt a lot and like had, you know, he'll come up later.
Okay.
But yeah, so the guy down the street, like I said, he would fucking, you know, sell $5 worth for $40 and just be like, these kids don't know. It was difficult to come up with $40, but like, you know, for weed.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
I mean, I think it was like the transaction I'm recalling, it was my best friend from like age 2 until I got sent away. He, I think had like birthday money.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Because I remember we had like each chipped in $5 to something, or you know, like 10, whatever. Like we got $40 together, and
What was he offering you for $40? Like, what was the unit?
Dime bag.
Would he call it a dime bag?
Yeah, I think so. I think he called it a dime.
Like, okay, my kind of implicit, intuitive understanding of dime bag is a dime, $10.
Yeah, but he would say something about like, I remember the name of the strain that I think that he made up.
Oh shit.
Jamaican red hairs.
Yo,
is that real?
In New Jersey in the 90s, one of the first times, maybe the first time I ever smoked weed out of a bong. And it did have
Jamaican red hairs.
That's exactly
he would like point out to him.
Yeah, I'd like smoked weed a bunch, and this was like, that's why I was kind of thinking of when I was like, were these like mids or, you know?
I never heard those words again, so I always wondered if he was just on the spot was like, I got some classic Jamaican red hairs. You see that?
You know, you could about Jamaican, but then it's got the red hairs, which it just means I think it's like, it probably correlates with it was grown with a little more care, maybe. I don't know if Jamaica, I've never been to Jamaica. I think the weed
I would like to go.
I would too.
I've heard that Negril is just an absolutely magical place.
I've heard the weed is actually not the best though.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Which maybe I don't know what you do. I've been on sober vacations. It's fun. I think like Mexico, I could never get good weed, and so I just gave up. Like it was too weird to buy it in Mexico too. Probably.
Yeah, I'm not looking to admit to felonies, so
is that a felony?
No comment. Bringing it across lines
definitely did not do that.
Well, of course not.
No, I definitely did. I didn't, dude. Why would I bring back shitty weed from Mexico, dude? The weed's better here.
No, I'm not talking about bringing it back.
Oh, I see. You're saying how you obviate the problem I'm describing.
I don't obviate it, dude. I just don't leave Dallas.
Yeah.
A place where weed is legal. But yeah.
Right. So you're buying some, dude, if it's anything like what I was puffing on in New Jersey, it was 90s version of Dank. I mean, just in that guy's defense.
I don't recall me getting especially high. Okay. I mean, like there's really only one time where I was like, boy, I'm fucking gone. And that was nice. I recall that fondly.
Is that like you're chasing the dragon? That. Yeah, we'll get to it. Yeah.
But yeah, so I remember a time where the guy came in, like I went in to buy from him, and he was like, yo, I'm re-upping this weekend. And he's like, you see this? And he held up like just a regular size sandwich bag. He was like, at the end, this is going to be full.
Fuck.
I'm like,
fuck, dude.
Yeah, great. And so that was the weekend that I got confirmed as a member of the Catholic Church.
Dude, you're literally Anthony Jr.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of animal?
And so I had the confirmation, everything, and we were having like a big dinner, like for me for the confirmation. But while I was getting ready or whatever, I was like, yo, I'm going to go to my friend's house.
Oh my God.
Went to my friend's house, and then as I was walking back, the guy who had sold me the weed, and tell me what you think about this move. Like, this is crazy. Like, this guy was just such a fucking asshole.
He is selling weed to like 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, he was like 15, but whatever.
Okay.
But he walked up and was like, hey man, I'm out. Can I have some?
What?
I knew you wouldn't be able to believe it.
What the fuck?
He did.
God damn.
Yeah. And I didn't know, like what to say. He's like, I'll get you back.
Welcome to people being drug addicts, dude.
Yeah.
That's your first drug addict moment. Dude.
Yeah. He's like, I'll get you back. I was like, yeah, okay.
Shit, dude. And I hate that feeling, dude, of just being like, I know immediately. We're just like, because
like, what if I piss him off and I can't get it anymore?
Yeah, dude, definitely. But it's like, do you really care? Well, he sucks, but before that, I had nothing, and I love this stuff.
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's tough.
So I broke him off some, and like I handed the bag to him. He handed it back, and
wait a second, I did not even put together, dude. He's dipping off what he just sold you.
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was just
like 2 days later. Like, God, I buy it on a Friday.
What a bum, dude.
On Sunday, he's like, hey, do you have some of that? Like, I'm out. I'm out now.
That's tough.
I guess he hadn't gotten the sandwich bag full yet.
Yeah, or he was just ripping them, dude. Yeah. Just, who knows?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that he had plenty of things he needed to get through. And
sounds like it.
Wish him the best in that endeavor.
I hope he turned his life around.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So when he hands the bag back to me, we're standing in front of my house, and my mom looks out the window and sees it.
Fuck.
And so, like, at this point, like, the dinner's ready,
Fuck, dude, until you said that, I forgot it was confirmation, dude.
Yeah. So, like, the extended family is there. Like, they're staying at our house.
Fuck. Dude, the only prayer is that your mom doesn't know what's going on.
So I walk in and they're like, come with us. Like, we don't want to do this in front of everyone.
I'm shaking, dude. Like, I'm stressing. Oh my God, dude. This is very are you telling the truth?
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah. This all happened. It's in my life.
Yeah, dude. This is wow. Horrible timing.
I agree. So yeah, they walk me into their room and they're like, empty your pockets, and I'm like, oh shit, we don't need to do that. Like what do you mean? What do you mean emptying my pockets? What are we talking about here?
Fuck.
And eventually, like, I emptied my pockets.
So they didn't
they didn't know what he was handing back, but they knew
pockets, so to
they
speak.
didn't trust him. They knew he was a fucking dirtbag.
Okay.
And then I'm talking to him, and he handed me something.
It was a surreptitious transaction.
Yeah. So they were like, what was it? Let's fucking see it.
But they didn't take it out of your pocket. They gave you like police treatment.
Yeah. I think I took it out of my pocket.
Get it in plain view.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And then we're just like, all right, well, don't want the food to get cold.
Wow.
Like we'll deal with this. We're gonna deal with it later, and like they did.
But your grandmother's here, dude. Like,
and so fucking put on a smile and go sit and eat with them.
Yeah. Wow. That's unbelievable. Okay, so you weren't high during this, right?
Not because I had smoked immediately prior. I was like a little bit.
Damn, dude, that's terrible. I mean, maybe that's better. I don't know. So how did you feel like sitting at that dinner? I mean,
exactly how you think.
I would just be like, what's going to happen, dude? Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah. That was, quickly here, hopefully. I mean, we're not even at Excel. We're not that close.
Yeah, but I feel like this kind of sets the stage, dude. I think this is worth talking about. Plus, this is funny as fuck. I mean, I'm sure it was sad at the time, tough for the parents, but pretty funny, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was sitting there in dread. I always was like, let's just get to it. Like whatever the worst thing is that's coming, I want to experience that. So then we're like on the other side.
Definitely.
And like, just come on.
Yeah.
Fucking get mad at me.
The waiting is the hardest part.
Yeah. That's right. He got it. So that dinner was tough, and I don't even really remember like the afterwards or whatever. But yeah, so that was the first time they caught me. The second time they caught me, and so they did that. There was a couple other times that they were like regularly tossing my room.
Your parents were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like visibly, like the way a jail would, or just you knew like, oh, I had zigzags here and now I don't.
That.
Yeah.
And it would be like, we were in your room and we found these zigzags. What the fuck?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they'd be like, we found this.
So it was a confrontation every time something's missing?
Yeah.
That's another fucking weight, dude.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So they were getting pretty good at that. So the time that I forgot. I thought there was only 2 times. They caught me with me 3 times. So the second time, I was in debate for sure.
Wait, what?
I was in debate.
Like DEBATE?
Yeah, like
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. In high school?
Yeah.
No way.
Indeed.
I mean, obviously I see how that could be and how you would be good at it.
I know I've told you this before, but it's probably still going to blow your mind. They did introduce speech and debate in my final year at Excel.
Okay, that I'm done being blown away by. I do know that now.
So I caught back on that. But yeah, as a freshman.
Wait, competitively? Excel was doing competitive debate?
Yeah.
With other schools?
Uh-huh.
I did not, and I'm back. You're probably like, yeah, dude, we go through.
I was trying to tell you.
Wow,
I knew we would experience this cycle.
Interesting.
I know it's hard to wrap your head around. In the way that, like, at one point they fielded a baseball team. Like, I wasn't there for that. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that you feel the same way.
I have to stop with the eternal sunshining myself after every time we get together.
Yeah.
It seems like, but the joy of rediscovering that they put kids up to compete. So what, like the Woodlands High School?
Yeah.
Like Excel kids were going and debating them? Holy shit, dude.
You remember Magnolia
High School?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So you went and competed?
I finished.
You wore an Excel polo and debated?
I finished second in the Bulldog Classic, dude. Novice division is my first tournament.
Yo, now I'm like actually imagining how this would work.
I had a suit.
Oh, this is so not an Excel polo, dude. You wore a suit.
I had a suit. Like at Excel in my like trunk or whatever. Like I kept the suit.
God damn, dude. I mean, I think we could probably get a lot out of this. Like, I, again, don't mean to derail. Do I do this every time to this length that you explain this? Because I feel like I'm just now putting together everything that would entail, dude. We only took the SATs. That was basically the only time I saw another teenager that was not from Excel.
See, that's weird because we only took the SATs on campus. I never left campus when they changed that.
Yeah. Dude, we had to take the SATs at Conroe High School in fucking jumpsuits.
No fucking
so
way.
I think honestly, like rocking it like that, but that's why I'm thinking debate, dude, probably would be a stronger feeling.
The 1500 was on campus though, right?
Well, they fudged numbers, dude, because it was around, I want to say it was around the time.
What do you mean?
Thank you for dropping it was like when they started letting you.
I mean, it was a seminal moment in the history of Excel Academy.
I agree, but the debate is like
when
a
the
lot
Alex
more.
Stevens SAT score got opened.
But I think we'll get to that. That was, I remember that. I'm not ready to talk about that. But one of the things they did do was like make you do stuff, and also there was nothing to do. And again, it's like I have so many thoughts about SATs because of this. But like,
I think we need an episode on SATs. I think we need an episode on debate.
I fully agree.
This is not those episodes.
I agree. My mind's being fucking blown. But I will just say that the feeling sitting in the room with the regular kids, nerds with their little pencil boxes, taking the SATs and sitting there. I don't think I was in a jumpsuit every time because they made us take it a bunch. That's why I feel like the 1500 is a little misleading because I never rocked it like together. Like I never had one day that hit that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like
it just happened that my highest, like I was just like fucking ripping it one day.
Yeah, that's not my best day, dude. That's like my 2 best days put together.
Whatever, dude.
No, it's still, I'm not trying to down target too much.
Yeah.
Part of me doesn't like them getting credit for turning us around into SAT machines.
Of course.
Which they used repeat. Dude, you
and
think
the
that didn't come
SAT
up
2
on tours?
performance is just as legendary as the SAT performance.
I mean, and that is kind of humiliating in a way because you have
3 tests, 1 question wrong?
Yeah, something like that. But you have to like explain what the SAT2s are, which is a nerd shit anyway.
Yeah, but I know
and
they
don't matter. It turns out they don't matter. Like, Anyway, I don't mean to like overdo it, but I did feel fuel sitting in the room being a freak with like these weird kids from the weird school and knowing the other kids were like kind of looking at us like that. Like, that's why I have very mixed feelings about the SAT because I get why, like it going away, I'm overall like, that's good.
Yeah, it is. But I
meant
get
a lot
mad
to me then. Dude.
Yeah, no, that's like I'm eager to do the episode because I think when most people hear us talk about the scores in this way, because most people's typical experience like is not like ours, that they find it to be annoying. Like most people get annoyed whenever like you bring up the SAT or how you did on it, but like this is how we were judged. Like this is how you got to be a good boy.
Well, I think
in a situation where like the difference between being a good boy and not a good boy was a giant fucking gulf that meant all sorts of pain if you didn't get on the right side of this. So like, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to give too extreme of examples, but like, if hitting a certain test score on the SAT meant that you got to get out of prison, I think that you like.
That is kind of how I felt about it, dude. I mean, and we'll get to that, but
it was your way out. Like college, like I was obsessed with just reading the college like books.
Oh my god, dude! Of course, exactly, dude.
Like I know I don't have to explain to you. It's just everyone else who like in the course of their
dude, stop.
Yeah,
you don't have to tell me.
Yeah, no, I'm not telling you. I know you know, because all it meant is out. Like it's just like like fucking. This is the path where I know if I'm going to these colleges, I'm not fucking here, and like it's a reason out that they would respect. Like if you were just like, well, I miss my friends a lot, could I leave? They'd be like, fuck no. Like you'd get in giant trouble for suggesting that. But if you were like, I got a fucking half-ride scholarship to the University of Dallas, and I think that it'd be fucked up to my parents if I didn't fucking follow through on that commitment. I gotta go. Sorry. Even though, because I mean, like, as we can discuss as we go along, like, they did lean on me to like extend my time, and like I was able to have like that, like, fucking not past here though, because we both know that I've got this scholarship waiting. Like,
I fully agree. I think you put it really, really succinctly, like that exact calculus, and that's what I meant. Like, you had to load up those stats to be able to be like, I have to get the fuck out of here because you know, we'll definitely get into this, but like there's obviously, as with all kind of like cultic setups, you always want more people and you want more out of them. And so this wasn't just the place that graduated kids from high school, you know, and said goodbye. They would try to make you stay there longer and say like you weren't ready for college, which is even crazier than high school. And look how you did with that. So a lot of kids ended up doing like distance learning for additional years at Excel after graduating high school.
They did that, and they also started sending them to Sam Houston, which is like 45 minutes away.
Right, Sam Houston State.
But then you would still live like on campus.
Yeah.
Like in a different area of it.
Right.
Yeah, you were still going to school.
Like, yeah, and your parents were still paying your tuition, I guess, for Sam Houston State, which isn't much because you probably are a resident at that point. They probably free, you know.
I think you only need like 6 months.
It gets dicey. I had to like write a special letter after, you know, years. Like
you would know better than I did.
It's because it's like if you're there for school, it doesn't count. So are you at Excel for school? What's the deal? You know what I mean? But I bet they worked it. So there's, you know, one way or another. You know, whatever. But yeah, they would like get kids to stay. And we can get to it, but I was there a year after I graduated high school, but not quite in that context. And I think a big reason of that, and it was important to me, dude, I didn't want to do Texas Tech distance learning, not because there's anything wrong with that. I mean, it's not what it was in 1999 or 2002 or whenever the fuck it was. But it was like, I didn't want, you know, you just don't want to give too much. That's why it's such an interesting question, the times when you do and fully did want to. Like, how did they get a part of my heart like that? You know what I mean? But it was like the SATs were what allowed, at least if you did get a good score, you kind of, I think for one thing, no one in the school leadership until a certain point, but like the people who owned it were not college graduates. And so they were like immediately the one that went to college dropped out after like less than 2 years and like entered recovery and was then in that community. So they didn't run in the professional upper middle class to upper class to elite circles that were sending their kids to the school. And they had a weird anxiety about it.
Oh, yeah.
And like, it was a weird mix of like,
and I mean, like, it was fucking rich that like this woman that like, you know,
she gloated over that aspect too.
Would not have had a fucking prayer of like, attending any of the places that I'm being considered for, like having total power over me and being like, I don't know if you're doing enough. You could get a higher score on this. I'm like, I might be able to, but how about you give it a fucking go?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. That's a funny thought experiment. I actually never wondered that, but that is hilarious.
I would love to know.
But, you know, they clearly had their own smarts. I mean, obviously, but I think
I established that last episode.
Yeah, I agree. But I think they did misread the priority that particular class places on like pedigree of education. And
I don't know that they did misread it. I think they read it correctly.
Well, I think they read it correct.
They read it correctly in like a very gauche way.
Well, I mean, but I'm saying like, in my particular experience, like it was like, okay, so then you transfer to a 4-year school. Well, I don't remember discussing it this explicitly, but definitely it was like, no, you should go be part of a 4-year school. And like part of that, I don't think my parents were like, because that is where you build social capital and that's what you're really getting out of it. I don't think most parents are thinking about it that structurally, but their brains are set up to be like, no, it's different if you transfer, you know? And I don't feel as proud if you're doing Texas Tech distance learning versus like, this is where you got accepted. It's almost like, I know plenty of people who do this, like, cause UT's doesn't have enough, you know, there's like many more people who want to go there. So it's like you bang out the UTSA, you know, year or two, and then you go to UT.
Yeah.
It's like you get a UT diploma if you get there early enough. But like there is that cutoff where they're like, you're not UT enough. Like at the law school, if you came in third year, it's like you're not UT enough. Like we'll give you credits. You'll technically have a law degree. But, you know, so, and I think I credit that and then the fact that the SAT scores put in immediate terms, here's what you would actually be giving up. Not like theoretically he might get into Harvard unless he does Texas Tech, whatever, which probably is true. But that was never in the cards. But it was like...
You're saying you would have... I don't think you would have gotten into Harvard, Alex.
Would not have.
Okay.
They were also delusional about that. They wanted me to go to Rice and this other kid. Neither of us really had a prayer. And I remember Rice wrote back and they were like, do you have a course catalog? And that's when I knew I wouldn't get in because the answer was no. But they were still like, you can definitely get in, but I may have mentioned this like briefly when we were like looking through this stuff. That's when they were like, write the course catalog.
Yeah.
Like, why they needed it. So I'm writing my own course catalog in the hopes that but I already know it's already a fool's errand, dude. We're not getting in. Like somebody's interested. We've tweaked some interests, but if they were going to be moved, it'd be the essay. Like the course catalog is because somebody's being like, we don't know it. Like somebody's objecting. That's why they need this more. I felt like I was like, we're too weird. Like, and then a staff member had a spouse who worked in the Houston academic community. And
kind of.
Yeah. Well, he was like, he worked at a university in Houston.
Technically.
He wasn't a fucking professor or whatever.
He was an SID, dude.
I don't know what that means.
Sports Information Director.
Yeah, he's an employee of a fucking... My whole point is
He doesn't talk to professors, brother.
No, but he was just basically like, yeah, Rice is fucking snooty as fuck. I remember having that... She kind of pulled me aside. She was like, actually, I thought you might be right. Because he's saying it's a tough. Like, they're snooty. And I remember being like, yeah, I'm writing the course catalog, and I don't know what these things are supposed to sound like.
Yeah.
I didn't read them that much before I came here. Like, they threw some examples in front of me. But I don't remember how I got started. But
that's so weird and fucked up.
Yeah.
How you write a course catalog to do this.
It's funny, dude. I mean, I won't put my name on the whole thing, because, like, looking through it, there are parts that I didn't recognize, but parts that I did.
You have it?
No, I was in, like, all those documents we looked at, like, a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Which, let's drip those out. I don't want to go too far down that road.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I was in debate.
Yeah. Anyway, I just feel like that same feeling would be like times 1,000. I would be like, I want to annihilate these motherfuckers. Just got to be so mad that I'm in Excel and they're not. And like they're living regular high school life. If they had debate, I'm like almost upset I didn't stay there to be part of it. Because it like would have been such a fucking exercise of just like getting aggression out. Anyway.
I liked it very much.
God, I can only imagine. I can't wait till the debate episode.
It was my last class of the day. It was great.
Wow. Who taught it?
You don't know.
Okay.
No longer with us. R.I.P.
Damn.
But yeah, so I was in debate in freshman year. For anyone who's interested, I did CX in freshman year and LD whenever I came back to Excel, or whenever I came back to it while I was at Excel.
That was my follow-up question. Thanks for answering that. Yeah.
And so tournament was in Rowlett or Rockwall, one of the two.
Okay.
And
that's a ways from Conroe.
No, this was freshman year.
Oh, the one. Got it.
Yeah,
Thank you. Okay.
Furthest we went from Conroe is we A&M Consolidated in College Station had a tournament. It's probably about an hour and a half.
You guys hit McDonald's.
We hit McDonald's, and the one of the like main debate people went to A&M, and so she like it was called the Excel Diner. It's in College Station.
Oh, like literally that was the name of the diner?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. But it was delicious. I was very excited to be there.
All right.
But yeah, so some other potheads in the debate team, as you might expect.
Okay. No, I know nothing about debate culture. Okay. It's a pot culture?
I mean, depends, school to school, but like they were cool kids. I liked them.
Okay.
Debate club is tight. That's my opinion.
Okay, but now I'm getting confused again. So are we talking Plano debate?
Yeah.
Kids are cool? Okay.
Plano East. Yeah, I was going to Williams High School, but it fed into Plano East.
Got it. Okay, so because I thought we're now talking about 3 debate experiences. We got pre, during, and post. The trip, during Excel, and before Excel. So I'm not complaining, dude. More the merrier.
Yeah, so this is probably the beginning of October of 2001.
Okay.
I went to Excel November 16th, 2001.
Wait. November 16th, 2001?
Yeah. When did you get there?
Ides of March
There you go.
1999.
Yeah.
March 15th. Yep.
I remember asking Duncan if he thought we were going to go to war with Iraq, and he said, "I bet we will before the Ides of March."
Really?
And I think that I think he was right.
Interesting.
I don't know. Someone go check when the official start date was.
Of Iraq War?
I was opposed.
You were at Excel chilling, being like, I'm against it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was going on.
Duncan was against it, is my recollection.
I think I've mentioned this to you, like when I had to go like interview at colleges, one of them, they wanted to see if you could talk about things you read. So they gave you a packet and it was all about the Iraq War. And it was like different perspectives. And I, as you know, am suggestible at times. So everything I read, it was how I felt like as I was doing it. So the first thing I read was like a guy being pro Iraq War, just like, cause they opened with a guy from Iraq who was like, had been brutalized by Saddam Hussein. Mm-hmm. So of course, dude, it's working as intended. I'm like, this is fucking outrageous. Like, of course, dude, we're the United States of America. We have such a sick military. Yeah. Yeah. Like, how are we going to sit here and let a bully, do this to people? But the article was actually from The Nation. And so they were setting it up to then take it down. Yeah. So then they were like, but actually, it will be worse if we do. And I was like, what, how? Go on, and like, that was kind of like learning more, like that experience was like more important in terms of like critically reading things. I feel like then, like we were talking about diagramming sentences versus reading books in English. Yeah. Anyway, that's how I learned that the Iraq War happened, dude. Like basically it had already happened, dude. So the packet was all like, Colin Powell lied and like all this stuff. I was like, damn, dude, like, Colin Powell, I knew him from like a memoir that some parent brought to Excel.
Yeah.
Like I generally knew stuff was going on in Iraq. Like I knew 9/11 happened. I knew we went to Afghanistan. I knew, but like Saddam was still in power or had not been fully toppled. He got toppled December of my freshman year at college after I left. So,
I remember it was a weekend, like the staff came in. Like, I think when they came
in to celebrate?
I think when they came and got us from the dorms, they were like, come down. We're turning on the TV. We got them.
So they like stone cold, like the Osama announcement? Like, did they like play it up or like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm trying to remember. I don't. I remember
some staff
I remember
members
being in the lodge watching it. Like we were allowed to watch like the coverage.
Okay. Yeah, I can see some they're just like fully erect. Like, just like, this is, I mean.
Finally, America
like someone hit the
again.
light dimmer, yeah.
That and the, I definitely remember the space shuttle explosion.
What?
Not the
1986.
Krista McAuliffe one.
That's the 80s one.
That was before I was born.
Yeah, that's why I was like, surely it's not that one.
Like 2003.
You got to tell me, dude.
There was a space shuttle explosion.
For real? I don't mean to be flippant about it. I don't want to make jokes.
There's only 2 of them.
Are you fucking with me?
No.
Okay. It's not funny, dude.
It's not a joke.
Okay, yeah. No, I know. I just...
Look it up if you don't believe me.
When did this happen? 2003?
That's my recollection.
At the end or beginning?
I just know it was while I was at Excel, dude.
Okay.
Because I remember being there.
I'm not going to look it up.
I'm pretty sure it was after you were gone.
R.I.P. to the victims, but
I remember the configuration of the lodge at the time, and it was...
this was like an event you watched? Like they were like gathered, like as if it were like Saddam being toppled?
Like they told us.
So did you know a shuttle was going up beforehand?
No.
Because I feel like the one, I don't remember the one in the 80s happening.
Yeah.
But my like kind of the way it's taught it happened is like, because a teacher went up. So it was like a true tragedy. Yeah. So it was like kids were watching it and stuff and you saw it blow up. The whole country saw it blow up basically. Whereas this one, I got to tell you, I don't mean to be.
I mean, it was a story once it blew up. That's all.
But like the way a plane blowing up would be?
I mean, it's bigger than that because it was a space shuttle.
Yeah. All right. More people on a plane.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I don't feel like I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I believe you, I guess. This would be a weird... I don't know what to say at this point.
I like, of all the days, like, you just remember 99% of the stuff that happened there, I forgot.
Yeah, but you remember the space shuttle exploding.
But the way memory works, like you can remember like scenes, right? Like
Definitely.
you just feel like you can be there. I remember just kind of like looking out the window, just being like, "Damn, this crazy space shuttle blew up," but like the weather is very nice.
Damn,
like I feel good right now.
All right, so you're the one being flippant.
Call it what you want to call it.
Yo, within my first month there, Columbine.
That's wild. Yo, I can't imagine Jamie being there for Columbine.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we're all Columbiners in the making. Dude.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Oh, God. I mean, I just imagine the way that would supercharge her self-concept of her mission.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to prevent these.
And it like gave her a box. I don't think I ever finished like the X-Men anecdote.
Okay.
But like to your point about like control, it was really like you said, like a scene I remember in Walmart, like for the listener.
Yeah. Please tell me the rest of the story.
Yeah. I mean, I'll make it quick, but like we're in Walmart, we're grabbing, clothing, but Jamie is there. Like the head person, we'll have to do like 10,000 Jamie. Obviously, you'll kind of intuit. But I actually like this because like a new kid, this is how you find out who Jamie is. Mm-hmm. Like the other kid, the way other kids talk.
Yeah, you hear her talked about a lot.
Yeah. And you're like, she's in charge, I think. She's important and largely feared. And this is
complex.
Good. So I'm glad we haven't. Yeah. But like the control was just the need for control and the fear of things she didn't understand, even if they're innocuous, was put into such stark relief because it's this goofy kid holding up an X-Men DVD, just being like, she's buying DVDs. Like, she's like, cause it's Christmas time, I think.
It sounds right.
So it's like, she's,
definitely do that.
Going off. Like would pay it forward special edition, like, yeah, throw it in, like whatever. And he's like, what about this? And she's like, everything stops, dude. Like she freaks out in the middle of Walmart. And like,
God.
I know it's X-Men, it's a children's cartoon. They made it edgier. I know, for adults, they made the uniforms black and made of leather. And I think that's what freaked her out because she didn't know what it was. And because this kid was kind of a push it kind of kid who had been doing good enough to get like honestly lucky to get brought on a Walmart trip, she thinks he might be fucking with her, I think.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, absolutely not. And then in my head, I'm like, fuck, are we getting a rule made before my eyes that we can't talk about X-Men? Because topics were constantly being rendered like unsuitable for discussion. The term was inappropriate.
And
I think.
Of course. What do you mean you think?
Well, I don't know if it changed, if that ever.
Of course not.
In my day, it was like, that's inappropriate. Word. Family Guy is inappropriate. It means more than the word inappropriate actually means, like to regular people.
Yeah. No, all the words.
It's like suppressive person in Scientology.
They had a very limited vocabulary, like just by nature, the people running the place were the kind of people who had a pretty limited vocabulary. And so.
But a very rich ability to evoke a lot.
But words had different meanings, but very deep meanings that encompassed a lot of things.
Yeah, dude.
And inappropriate was one of those words.
Well,
but like it was so like how some people who are like mad at God present God as like just like barely taking an interest in his creation except to like fucking shake up the ant farm every once in a while.
Sure.
That
like Al Pacino says in Devil's Advocate, the absentee landlord.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how it felt with like what is and is not appropriate. Because it would be like one time she's walking through, he asks if we can have X-Men. She's like, no more X-Men. She doesn't remember she said it the next day. But there were other people around who were fucking knew that like it was their idea that they could be perceived as a good boy if like we followed everything she said exactly to the T.
I would put it a little yes 1,000 times. But sometimes also there were kids who were like, well, 4 kids just heard it. Who's going to be the one that tells on us? Like, should I go along with the kids who are pretending not to have heard it?
Yeah.
Because something like X-Men, like if someone brings it up the next day, like, oh, that's like you're being like Cyclops on X-Men. There's a kind of kid, the kid you're describing that would be like, Jamie said no X-Men.
Yeah.
Do it again and I'll fucking bring you up.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, but then there are kids who would be in like severe anxiety. Like being like, did Jamie say no X-Men? This is fucking, we're all going to get in so much trouble. And one of these kids is the kind of kid you described. Which is it, you know? So maybe I'll say something, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like the best, you know, strength, aka the responsible kid, like a good thing you can do there is help those kids. Be like, Jamie didn't mean it like that, dude. Like she said no to the movie, dude. It's not anything like that. No one's gonna get in trouble because you kind of know if that kid then brings you up for that, you can just say what you said. And they kind of liked when a kid brought up a strength kid on too flimsy of a charge because that meant that kid was like trying to get to the next level too hard, and so they would usually then take that kid down. In my experience.
That was the unpredictable nature of it. I don't
best feeling in the world when it happens to you.
Oh my God! You think you had me, motherfucker?
Yeah,
I had you the whole time.
The best is because you have to stand up when you get like brought up, like during the sessions. I mean, more for the listener.
Yeah, but we need to do a lot of explaining. To the listener
yeah. But just real quick. So you're standing up because you got brought up. Then that kid's standing up because he's talking.
Yeah,
and then. In the midst of yelling at them a couple times, you know, when they're kind of coming at the big dog a little too hard, just as an aside, they almost like remember that you're there in the middle of yelling at this other kid who just tried to take you down, and they're just like, Alex, sit down.
Yeah,
you know? It's just like,
I will. Yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
No
dude.
better feeling.
Yeah. I got brought up for like not putting my shirt in the laundry right once.
Yeah.
Like by the laundry kid who hated me. And just, that's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
It felt so good, dude.
No, so the bringing up and everything, the way they ran the school, and we'll do many episodes on this, but just if you're totally lost, we would have I would say it was probably on average like 3 times a week for an hour to 2 hours session where after school, you would go all be in one room in front of the program director who would, just be like, all right, what did everyone do wrong this week? And kids would sometimes report on themselves, but like certainly I would say every one of those, there'd be at least 10 examples of of like me being like, I saw Alex hum a Jay-Z song.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
And then they'd be like, Alex,
stand up.
Yeah. You've been off lately.
Yeah, you've been off lately. Oh my God. But I really think that's what it meant. She was
screwed up.
She didn't understand it, but she did have a feeling about you. And then her aura of power was such that you would start to believe it. Or like, I think a lot of kids, I'm saying you, I don't know that you did, and I don't know that I did, but I did think she could detect lies. So I never wanted her to hit me with "you've been off," having to use the mental space that I would normally use to like maintain my soul in dealing with like someone who was intent on like possessing it with like controlling micro expressions, you know, to cover up a lie. Like I would rather just like not smoke a cigarette on the visit or whatever, like, which maybe was a way of like, you know, behaving, but it was like, it's not worth the stress of like wondering if she knows if I'm lying or not, because she was pretty good at it.
I remember, you know, I'm sure we can get into this. I remember Alex, you're off.
Really?
Just the big like Christmas one that ended up in like you have no heart. Like you gotta watch all the kids all the time so you can learn to grow a heart.
Yeah, we got to do a long one about that. But see, yeah, oh my God, as this is already demonstrating like that brings up so many
I refuse to end this episode until we're done, until I'm at least like
we have to
gotta
made
get
a promise
through.
to the audience.
Yeah. But anyway, so
all right, dude, so yeah,
had
you
this debate
did get
tournament
confirmed. Okay
had this debate tournament, had some weed. I do not remember where I acquired that particular weed, but I had some weed. And I wanted a place to like kind of like keep it discreetly. And I noticed my brother had a tin of Mentos.
Okay.
Not Mentos.
Sure.
No, Altoids.
Okay.
Remember the Altoids tin?
Sure. That's what I'm saying. Classic drug paraphernalia.
Yeah. So I just like dumped them all out on his desk in his room and took the thing. And at some point, my parents were like, "Why do you just have this random pile of mints on your desk?" And he was like, "TC took the tin."
Tossing everybody's room.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they were looking. They trusted him. Yeah. He didn't have that kind of relationship with them ever. Pile. But yeah, they were in his room. They're like, "That's weird. Why is that there?" And so then they saw the Altoids tin later.
Okay. And oh boy.
We're like,
Do you think part of you wanted to get caught or something? You're in front of the house.
No, dude. I did not want to get caught.
Why didn't you throw them away?
I don't know, dude. I was 14. What do you like? I didn't throw. Oh, I don't know. I wanted to be charitable to him. Like.
Oh, like
he wanted.
I don't need to take your Altoids. Just I took you. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. But so debates are always like a Friday, Saturday things. I think Friday went normal, but then Saturday, I want to say like I was in the shower, and they like did a sweep.
So wait, you're in a hotel with your parents?
Not a hotel. I was at home.
So the debate is taking place close enough to home.
Yeah, Rowlett and Rockwell aren't far from Plano.
Okay. I got my signals crossed initially. I don't think I ever fully uncrossed them. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you're just in the shower at home.
Yeah, and I think they sweep the room quick toss, at that point.
Okay.
They see the tin. They open it. There's weed in it.
Shit.
They're like, okay, it's the exact same deal as the confirmation thing of like, you have this commitment of a debate tournament. You got to go to that. But like the second you're done, like we're dealing with this.
Okay.
And so I get done, and I don't remember. They must have like made long range plans or something, but they wanted to see a movie. And it was a book that I had read because I was like a huge Stephen King head.
Sure.
It was Hearts in Atlantis.
Okay, that was a movie?
Yeah.
What's that? I'm not familiar with that one.
I mean, spoilers, but I've never seen the movie, Alex.
Oh shit. Okay.
But so we get off, and like I'm like, same thing of like, let's just get done with this. Like, just fucking yell at me, tell me I'm a piece of shit. Like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, movie's about to start or whatever. So I remember, like, I was like, I'm 100% absolutely going to refuse to get in a car, drive to a fucking movie, have them be like expectant that like, and they're like, we're doing this for you because like you read the book and stuff. And I'm like, that's going to be the most uncomfortable, like tension filled, like not fucking doing it, doing it. And so I went up to my room and like laid down, and like they came in and were like, it's time to go. And I just like didn't say anything, tried to pretend like I was asleep. And they were like, we know you're not asleep. Like, and it got, I mean, you say I was telling truth before. I will continue to. This is, deeply embarrassing. But we're here to paint an accurate picture.
Yeah.
They started like dragging me off the bed.
Shit.
And I'm like, not fucking going. Yeah. So I'm like resisting.
It's a control struggle, man.
Yeah.
I mean, just reduced to its
obviously not about the
elements.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the struggle is kind of taking over everybody. It's not embarrassing, dude. I think it happens to more people than you think, and not just kids who went to Excel.
Yeah, I mean, here I'm not done yet. Yeah.
Okay.
But so they're like pulling me, and like every step of the way, I'm like literally digging in heels, like trying to make my body heavy. And like they're keeping on going, and that's not working for me. So I start like fucking like spitting at them, like just fucking get off. Yeah, like attempting to like fucking
sure,
fucking yeah, and that's still not achieving the desired objective. So they're like tugging me by my hands, but I fucking yank and get a hand free, and like just grab my mom's hair and like try to like bring her down.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, there's like a scuffle on the ground.
And your dad's there.
Yeah, he's like on the other side, like trying to drag me as well.
And you are, I mean, I don't mean to intrude on the honesty. You are a lot smaller then.
Yeah, of course.
For anyone watching this.
I mean, when I graduated Excel, I was 140 pounds.
Yeah. And that was 3 years after this.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was a size 28 waist when I got in.
Yeah.
So that's you know what we're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. I just, for an accurate picture.
Yeah. No, I was tiny as a kid.
I mean, it's still, the rage is the same, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And I think on some level, it's like, not to theorize too hard because we have plenty of room for that. But your comments, I think earlier, were really spot on for many kids there where the parents knew, you know, and we've talked about this other places as well and over the break, but, you know, like they know how to deal with a kid who is deferential and still happy to be shown this wonderful world by a parent.
Yeah.
So they love that. They're loving parents, but at the independent stage, there's many more negative emotions. And already I know, like I've felt, you know, the full spectrum of emotions as a parent without my kid being like, I don't want to be around you. You know what I mean? So but I know it'll be a struggle. I'm preparing for it, blah, blah, blah. But I think a lot of parents, and this is like, you know, a while ago now. So these are like baby boomer people. You know, a lot of their parents are like Great Depression plus World War II plus whatever the fuck else.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them are immigrants, like, which is like a different struggle, obviously, than the way many people immigrated to this country, but still not without its, you know, aspects of its culture that you could improve upon, I would say. Like, I mean, Irish people is all I have to say. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
like,
the fact that like they didn't get there because things were like they didn't emigrate because things were going well.
Yeah.
Like the amount of pain and trauma required to get them to leave their home country is like considerable, and they brought that with them. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's, you know, they're like everybody else. I think there's nothing. I saw, you know, the dude who painted the Facebook mural, David Cho. A friend of mine was like, check out his Rogan. And I was watching it and he was going off about like Korean culture. But until he started saying it's Korean culture, it's like the guy who made Parasite said, like, I thought I was making a movie about Korea, but it turns out like everybody was like, this is about where we are, you know? Like I felt like David Cho was kind of like, I felt like he was describing a lot of places, but he was like, it's Korean. You know, and I was like, it's definitely Irish. Like everything you're saying. I mean, I'm sure, you know, that obviously there are differences. Yeah. And like, I think his parents or somebody like got sent back to Korea for like 2 years. Like no one explained it.
Really?
Like when he was a kid, maybe his dad or something. Like they were just like, we don't have enough money for you in America. You're 7. You have to go to this place that was so terrible we came here. No one told you why or like, we love you. This is for, you know, whatever. They're just like, you have to go live with your fucking uncle, like who you don't speak Korean and you have to go like, so, I mean, obviously there are differences. Like no one in my family had that specific experience.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is like, it feels particular, but I'm sure it's not. And I think the same is true as, you know, with the story of leaving Excel and taking all this like fucked up shit. But like the control struggle, the last thing I'll say, I don't know where we stand on the Kellyanne Conway family saga. And I don't mean to like dig it up if they've put it to bed with this American Idol appearance. But it did remind me, like the control struggle of just like, especially like, I mean, you can't blame the girl, Claudia.
Claudia, yeah.
But seeing like the parents or like Kellyanne, and, you know, obviously now's probably the time to confess, you know, I'm from New Jersey. You know, I've been yelled at, you know, by blonde women all my life. And so, you know, I have as much of a Kellyanne thing as anyone does. So this really did trouble me. I had to do a lot of soul searching, you know, as this new stuff revealed. I'm not even joking. But the struggle for like control over your child felt very familiar to me. And she is from New Jersey, which I found interesting as well. But I think that's what's present. Like as embarrassing as it feels, you know, it's very discomforting to think that as we sit here like calmly discussing that you're even capable of like basically acting like a trapped animal. But in some ways, not to be hyperbolic, I feel like it is that feeling. Like that's what it is. It's like,
oh yeah,
because you never learn to modulate your negative emotions because
it's exactly that feeling.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, because if it's like the little kid saying something is bad, if you like didn't learn, okay, what you're feeling is frustration and this and that, rather than like you said, you were a 12-year-old who never had conflicts. You know what I mean? Like that kind of implicitly conflates conflict with being undesirable. but you have to have conflict, like to become a person in the world. And when you're like believing that makes you bad, eventually you flip the fuck out. Like it's still true. Like now, like, I mean, we don't have to get into it, but I just feel like, anyway, I think all of that stuff is very human and very relatable is what I'm saying. I think about it all the time still. This is the first time I'm hearing this story, like specifically, but you're not alone among Excel kids.
Certainly. Yeah.
And, I know your parents were in turmoil while that was happening too. Like, and it does kind of, like you said, you're not even at Excel yet, but it paints such a fuller picture of like how you got there and what you know what I mean? Like the immediate emotional tenor as you get in there. And I think it helps people who maybe can think, well, that sucks for them, but I would never do that. It's like,
Yeah, and another angle, like it's this degree of like constant, like every single thing is viewed through the lens of a control struggle. So like simple requests like, can we go to the movies, are like unable to be processed without resolving this first conflict. And then there's also like they felt like that, as a parent, you're going through like right now, you got to be around your kid all the time.
Yeah.
But like there's going to be a time whenever your like kid is grown up enough that like you could leave the house for an hour and like it's not that big a deal.
Right.
And so we got to that point and they would like leave the house all the time.
Right.
And like it would just be me and Daniel hanging out.
Right.
And they like were able to do that for a couple years, and then at a certain point they could know like, accurately, and like I don't apologize for this, that if they left the house, that I was going to be fucking smoking dope or looking at porn, possibly both, hopefully both.
Yeah.
Or, like whatever movies they didn't want me to watch that, they had around or whatever, the R-rated shit.
They had R-rated shit in the house and just expected you not to watch it?
Not a lot, but a little bit. They had probably like 2 movies that like this was more like second or third grade, but they had the Michael Keaton Batman, but they were like, you can't watch that.
Okay, that's actually, I'm not that mad at that. I thought they had like all of the Godfathers and they were like, no.
But, sometimes they would like rent something that was like for them to watch once we'd gone to bed.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, let's check that shit out.
How the fuck now? Dude, it's like 7 rolls around and movies better have started. You know what I mean? Like, how
I do not. I start movies at 10 all the time.
I guess, man. I don't know. Dude, with the kid, it's just like bedtime.
Yeah.
I can't. Anyway.
But yeah, so they didn't feel like they had any, like that they felt like I required constant supervision to like not be doing things that they told me not to do.
Dude, if you had seen Batman, you would have jokered. I shudder to think.
No, I saw part of it because we had a babysitter who was watching it. Like,
oh my God.
It was like after we'd went to bed, but I was like, I can't sleep. Can I just come out here and like, get like a half hour of this?
Damn.
And she was like, yeah, it's fine.
So you saw Jack Nicholson destroying those precious works of art.
Yeah.
And thought, this is cool. This rocks.
It does rock.
Yeah.
I saw the Batmobile. That was good.
It also rocks.
That was a good Batmobile.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
That's kind of my era of Six Flags. And they were flossing the Batmobile then.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say Batman Returns is more, but same. Yeah. Basically the same. Yeah. I mean, probably I'm pissing somebody off with that comment. But.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I disagree.
Oh.
They're pretty different.
In Batman Returns?
Oh, no, you're right. I was thinking of Forever. Because it changes a lot.
Obviously, I mean, in Batman Begins, it's balling out.
Yeah.
Humvee.
Yeah.
Batman Forever, it's still like a long
kind
phallic.
Of. It's a little in between. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, so we have this scuffle, trying to leave the house to go watch this movie. We end up kind of wrestling on the ground. And like at that point, like I'm kind of away from them and freed. I just like bolt out the door.
Sure.
Like I just want
literal fight or flight.
Yeah.
You did one and now you did the next.
Yeah. And the way that the neighborhood is set up, there's kind of like only one street like out.
Okay. Yeah, I think I got you.
And so like I kind of like walk up to it and I see that like in the time, like they've kind of like they hopped in the car and like cut me off at the pass.
Shit.
But they haven't seen me yet, like walking up or whatever.
Yeah.
So like I just turn around.
Okay.
And I had like there's a chick who lived on the next street that like, I went and like knocked on her window and was
Stay
like,
with one of your ladies when you gotta lay low.
Get in there, yeah. And like we hung out and talked for a little bit. I called another friend who had a parent that I felt like I think that like sometimes I would be like, yo, my parents suck. Like, here's some shit they did I think was fucked up. And she'd be like, yeah, that does sound tough,
Yeah, sure.
And so I was like, hey, we're having a tough time. Like, can I like come stay with you guys? Because the chick I was with, she's like, yeah, you can't like sleep here. And so I was like,
yeah, come on.
I called them and was like,
Public Enemies.
What can we, what could I do? And she got, and I mean, like, I feel bad about this because it's like such a huge imposition on other people. Like, it's like 15 minutes away that she lived, but it wasn't like she was in the neighborhood.
And you can let it go after all this time.
I don't think I ever will, dude.
Yeah.
And just was like, all right, listen, I'll come pick you up and I'll like drop you back off at your parents' house, which I mean is like 5 houses away. But she's like, if I'm there, maybe this will like go easier for you.
You can't help but appreciate the vibe
and just like trying to do something, like to be I don't think it's a legitimate option to like sponsor you being like away from home, like living elsewhere without your parents' consent. But I understand you don't want to just like walk back in. So like, I'm going to do the best I can.
Sure.
How about I just like walk with you?
That's nice.
Yeah. And, so, we do that and like go back or whatever. I was supposed to fly out that Monday. So it's fall break. Did you guys have fall break?
No. We had Thanksgiving.
We had spring break and fall break.
Like October?
First week of October, you had off from school.
Yeah, I had that at college in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I was supposed to fly to Chicago to like hang out with my family there.
Okay.
And after the runaway thing, she never said it to me, and like, I don't know, whatever. But my grandmother who I was going to be staying with, she was like, well, I don't want him to run away to Chicago. Like,
fuck yeah.
Rough and tumble there.
No doubt.
And so she was like, yeah, I don't know. And my parents were also like, we don't want you to do anything that we think that you would enjoy. Like, this is time for you to like be mad.
Sure.
And like experience bad things because like you hit us and
yeah,
it's going to happen.
Yeah. God,
it's going to happen.
Definitely.
And so, it was like, the most severe grounding that I could imagine. Like it was just, it was anything that we perceive that you might enjoy. Like we're going to cut you off from doing.
So hit me with it.
I don't even remember.
So like TV, no
I remember
internet.
the feeling of like being of like just supreme boredom and like supreme frustration.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of the specifics.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was certainly no TV. Like at that point I had access to a computer that like kind of would get on the internet, and certainly I wasn't allowed to be on that.
Sure. Okay. And you couldn't pull the like I need it for school like that. Not back then.
No.
Yeah.
And they know that was just for fucking Quake Team Fortress anyways.
Okay.
Definitely couldn't see friends, couldn't like talk on the phone. That was a big one. Really liked talking on the phone back then.
Yeah.
And so like,
dang. So you're going to school and you're coming home.
Well, I'm not going to school. It's fall break.
Oh shit. Fuck.
So I'm just like sitting at home doing nothing.
That could also be why it sticks out as being so horrible.
Yeah.
Because school would alleviate.
At least I'd see my friends.
Yeah. School kind of makes grounding like, I mean, it does suck, but if you're willing to skip class. Anyway, okay.
Yeah, so we fucking about 48 hours into this, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. So I my room was on the second story, but I just like tossed out a backpack, like fucking hopped out the window and was like, I'm gone.
Adios.
Yeah.
Okay. You just jumped out the fucking window?
Yeah.
Like,
I did that like
a hang down
decent amount of times. Nah, I mean, it wasn't super tall. You could do it. I fucked up my ankle another time. Not that one, though. Okay. I did it plenty of times without fucking up my ankle.
So you think it was just you caught the roll bad when you fucked up your ankle?
Yeah, like I landed like just the feet landed in like a staggered fashion, so one foot took the entire impact. If you like land on both feet, you're fine. Tough.
Yeah. Well, I'm an experienced parkour artist, so I know about that.
Yeah. But yeah, so took a while before they knew I was gone, so I was able to the way the neighborhood was set up, like you had to walk a while before you were around something other than houses. Like it was a subdivision. And but I walked a couple miles to like gas station or whatever. Back on the phone, just like calling around, being like, who can come get me?
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And, called a couple people, but ended up it was like the same lady who'd come to pick me up. Her and my friend, came and got me, and we're like, all right, we can do stuff for a little while, but then we got to let your folks know you're here. And I remember, for some reason, I'm trying to remember the specifics.
Wait, so these people that are saying this, how old are they?
So, I mean, their daughter was one of my best friends.
Okay.
I don't know.
Parent age, regular parent age.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, they were cool. She was cool. Her dad was, I don't know, complicated.
Yeah, it's a weird spot for them to be in.
Super weird. Yeah, I feel bad for putting them in it.
Yeah. You can only imagine what they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do.
What the fuck did they think was going on?
Great question.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some reason we got to go. She was like, "Well, I've got some things I need to do, so I will pick you up. But then I need to do them so you can come along. But we're doing them.
That's nice."
And one of them was that her friend somehow had access to a historic home, and they were just kind of walking through and looking at it.
All right.
And it was downtown Plano, which that shit dates back to there's downtown Plano is very old. I don't know. Okay.
It is surprisingly old.
Yeah.
I agree. I've been there, and I remember
it's tight.
There's a couple of those towns around here.
There are.
Where you're like, what the fuck?
It was not conceived of as a suburb. For 100 years, it was a town.
Yeah, but you picture it being only Frisco is. I'm probably embarrassing myself. Is Frisco an old downtown or no?
I think so. I mean, they definitely have a downtown.
Okay.
I don't know how old it actually is.
What's a place that is straight up subdivision only?
Flower Mound has no.
You think of all of them as being Flower Mounds.
Yeah.
And then you get to this charmingly quaint.
Yeah, Louisville's
downtown.
got a downtown. Grapevine's got a downtown.
Yeah.
Richardson's is nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Plano's is nice.
Yeah, Richardson's is nice.
Yeah. I like
you walk around.
Yeah.
People go, they
good
park,
ass restaurants.
Walk around. Yeah. I went to, or maybe this is Plano, actually.
Both of them are good.
I think it's called Dark Hour, the haunted house.
Ooh, I do not.
Yeah, I went to a haunted house up in Plano.
You do that a lot?
Only one time. Okay. A friend of mine recommended it to me, because his wife likes scary stuff.
Okay.
Dude, it was so fucking scary.
I
was screaming it was such a night, dude. We could do a haunted house episode. I
was hoping you'd say we could just go to a haunted house. Let's fucking hit one up this year.
Dude, we could. I mean, I don't want to put myself through that because I screamed the whole time. It was adrenaline the whole time. Because I'm jumpy, dude. And they're coming out. They're touching you a little bit, I think. And because you kind of you let them, they're not jostling you, but it's dark. There's lights flashing. And I obviously, had some edibles beforehand, which helped but didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but the scariest thing, dude, was this drunk redneck guy as we were leaving would not relinquish his gun, dude. I mean, I don't know if he was drunk, but he was belligerent, and he just quit. He was like, "Is my right?" And they're like, "Sir, this is designed to scare you. You're gonna shoot somebody. Also, it's not allowed, and it's totally not your right. And you don't have a right to go to the haunted house at all.
Yeah.
In fact, we're gonna call the police now, and they came. It was wild.
That is wild. God
quite
damn.
a night. Yeah. Highly recommend it.
My brother, whatever we were I mean, he's certainly in elementary school. I bet first half of elementary school, we were going through a haunted house, And you know, I love him. At times, a little bit of a puss. And
you are?
No, he is.
Oh well, dude, come on.
And
we all have our things, dude.
And he's fucking bawling.
Okay, that's funny.
Because of this haunted house. And my mom is like, you know, trying like in the middle of the haunted house to like get him back level. And so she's
that's funny too.
So she's like, hey, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
In a place designed to make him think that it's not.
And like one of the fucking like teenage employees, like dressed in, you know, the fucking face paint or whatever, like gets in his face, is like, no, it's not.
That fucking rules, dude.
My mom was like so pissed at the guy. Like, give me a fucking break here. We got a bawling 7-year-old.
That's so funny, dude. Because you know that means that's just a guy who got too into it. Yeah. Like, that's how much he liked working at the haunted house. Yeah. It's just like, no, it's fucking not. Like, dude, yeah. Like, oh, man. I imagine being able to give yourself over to your work like that.
Yeah.
God, what a hero.
Yeah. Yeah, so we check out this historic home, and I think it was like a little bit of a hoarder situation too.
Okay.
Like that it was a kid, you know, there's a guy that spent that entire life in this home, and like he died at like 80 or something.
Okay.
But like, so the house was fucking, you know, it was there 80 years ago.
Hoarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had like the thing that I most clearly remember is you'll always like see this as like a stereotype thing, but they had the fucking like marking off the heights on the door.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Very nice.
So from when this now deceased 80-year-old man was like 2 or whatever.
Wow. That would fuck with you. I mean, maybe it's normal for people back then, like, and he outlived it. But...
I have one friend who lives in the house he grew up in.
Wow. Something about seeing
it's a tight house.
You know, maybe it's like it brings us.
It's very near here.
Really?
If that matters. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, maybe if you know, I don't know. My parents, like, I guess, like, we've lived in more than one house, so I can't, like, imagine it, but they live in, like, the main one, and it's good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, going there, I'm like, I like it, you know, so I guess it wouldn't be that bad. Anyway. Something about the heights messed with me. Imagining seeing that as a grown man.
It did.
Yeah, that would mess with me. Something about it. Whereas, like, I know you hate me for saying this, but, you know, if it was like Game of Thrones time, you know, and your dad is like, here's the notch on the tree. Like, I'd be like, yes, we are part of the land. You know? Yeah. So, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, so, you know, she finishes her errands or whatever and was like, hey, you know, we got to let your parents know where you are and everything. And they came over. It was at, you know, those people's house. Like, you know, me, my friend, her parents, and my parents, like, all in a room, like, arguing.
What?
You know? Like me arguing with them and the rest of them, like, kind of refereeing. Like,
wow.
Like, you know, they got some points here, you got some points here. Like, let's
hear
each other out.
What is the subject of the argument? Whether or not you go back? Or
just like
you being like, this is
my
bullshit.
Grievances.
Like
y'all need to fucking back off and like be chill to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
dude, that reminds me of like the end of Magnolia. Like maybe
yeah.
You know, where the kid's like, be nice to me, please. Like, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I just raged out. I'm trying to use my words now, you know, but I know it's more complicated than that. But that's a tough situation for a kid to be in.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, we left like kind of smoothing things over, but like it wasn't because like they had moved towards me, you know, like they never did that.
You made the move.
No other option.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like they had the power and were willing to exert it. Like,
yeah. That's a tough thing to even figure out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear you.
But so, you know, get back home. Same grounding conditions exist. Like, you know, they're more mad now.
Wow. Okay.
So that all went down on, I think that was Monday. So Tuesday and Wednesday persist as totally miserable days.
Okay.
Then Thursday, They're like, at this time, my parents were big into bike riding.
Okay.
So they were like,
interesting.
We have a bike ride that we've been planning for a while. The fall colors in Bonham, Texas are just something else.
Okay.
And we're not going to miss that just because you're a fucking asshole.
Okay.
So, and I mean, they wouldn't call me an asshole. I've
long since realized that you update for today's dialect when you recount these stories. I've stopped asking.
Take the meaning and say it in my words. You know, like that's what I understood it as. You know.
Yeah.
That's how I would say it if I were there.
I don't think anyone thinks your parents actually said you fucking asshole.
Yeah, I just, want to be accurate.
I just confessed fondness for Kellyanne Conway, who said worse. So
yeah. But so they're like, yeah, we got this bike ride. So you can just go have a sleepover with your best friend and grounding's off for now. And
I know where this goes, but it's like, that's in retrospect, just wow.
I mean, like once it clicked, like once I understood the full scope of what was occurring, it was like, well, I probably should have seen that coming. It seemed out of character that they would be so chill because, we went and saw Zoolander, which is always a formative. I remember that clearly.
Wow.
And we had a great time. It was one of the all-time sleepovers. Me and my bud had a great night. Yeah. And then they got back or whatever.
So did you enjoy Zoolander?
Of course.
Like you were able to watch it, chill?
Loved it. Yeah.
You smoke weed?
No.
Okay.
Didn't have any.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I mean, I had some before they found it,
Well, that's why I was like, it's unclear. Yeah, maybe your boy had some. But.
Yeah, I swiped some nutmeg because I'd heard, and I never tried, but I'd heard that like you could get kind of fucked up off the nutmeg, and I remember them finding that in my bag, and they like understood it more than I thought they would, and I was like, "What's going on here?" And I don't know, but I found out afterwards. So to clue everyone in, they weren't on a bike tour; they were touring Excel Academy.
Maybe with me.
Maybe with you.
Yeah. My bad, dude.
Hey, I appreciate it. But yeah, so so whenever they got back and saw the nutmeg, I found like once I arrived at Excel, they mentioned that there had been a similar scandal of like kids in the kitchen eating a large amount of nutmeg.
What?
And I was wondering if like one of the kids
up on that.
I was wondering if one of the kids like had like let that slide on the tour.
Dude, I would never. I doubt I told you because I wouldn't know.
I don't think you were on the tour.
That's a shitty tour guide. Like,
I agree.
Why would you let that slip?
I could be wrong, but
that
I mean,
makes
like
the school look bad.
I know that.
What kind of discipline?
I would be surprised.
What kind of operation are you running here?
I understand.
Yeah.
But
that definitely wasn't me.
I get that, but
I'm getting strength anxiety.
Do you know? Like, my folks wouldn't just like know nutmeg's a hallucinogen. They would not know that.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. Like, they have to have gotten it somewhere. So you think...
So I don't know that it was from the tour, but like whenever I learned, like whenever I was asking myself the question, how the fuck did they know that? Like that was bothering me.
They weren't the type to Google in 1999, 2000.
Because they saw the thing in my, and they weren't like, "Why do you have this?" They were like, "Oh, fucking this again."
We know about that shit.
Yeah, and I was like, "How?" And
so is this store-bought powdered nutmeg?
Yeah.
You didn't get the fresh to grate.
Correct. Which I don't think the store-bought powdered will do it. But I don't care.
Yeah.
There's better drugs available.
For sure.
Yeah.
But, no
I'm
disrespect to the Meg heads.
Yeah. Yeah, so they were touring then. So that's, like I said, like first that ends the first week of October. We're doing our best, kind of like trying to patch things up, like move along, just progress down the road. And that guy I was talking about, the Venezuelan, that his sister was dating the guy who could get weed reliably.
Yeah.
I reached out, to my friend to ask that guy, like, hey, can I get some?
Okay.
He had a pickup, so that's tight.
Pickup truck, or he had
pickup truck.
Okay.
And he drove. He like lived in the next neighborhood.
Okay.
So I walked, away from the house enough that it wouldn't be suspicious.
Yeah.
And gave him some money. He gave me some weed. I put it in my glasses case.
Nice.
A discreet little place to hide it.
Like the cases.
Like the cases. Can't see what's in them.
Sure. Yeah.
And because I'd had the bad experience with the room getting flipped,
right?
You know, I mean, like a month ago, I got caught because I left it in an Altoids tin that they found.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I just can't leave it like around them. Like they don't check my pockets all the time. I'm just gonna have to carry it around in this glasses case.
The old carry-on trick.
Yeah. And so I just I was just like, until I am done smoking this, I'm going to keep it on me because past experiences have not proven fruitful.
You lose control of the checked luggage when it's out of your sight.
That's right.
Like, yeah.
So I go to school the next day, and on the bus, I make plans with the same kid who said that he spiked the bull with cocaine. That guy's back. And, you know, I'm like, yo, you know, I got some. And,
do you have any yay?
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, let's fucking, you know, let's go and smoke this after school. Like, you know, I'll come over to your house. We can hit this. And we, you know, that plan's locked in. And I'm kind of like standing in like the waiting area, you know, like the student center or whatever, before class starts. And he comes up to me and is like, yo, man, the drug dogs are here.
Fuck.
But, and I mean, as far as I know, I think that that's also a lie, like the cocaine thing.
See, I'm very suggestible, dude.
Well, I mean, I believed it. It's just like afterwards, someone was like, they were never there, dude.
Did they come to the school ever?
Yeah. But yeah, he was like, drug dogs are here, but great news. I've got a hidden pocket in my pants.
Hell yeah.
That was a regular feature back then.
Yeah.
I had one
like
where
skating pants.
Yeah, I had one where like the inseam, like the interior stitch, like it was actually Velcro.
Ooh.
And so you could like
Yeah.
You know, I mean these were not like actually Jinko brand, but they were those kind of jeans, you know, the comically oversized.
Yeah.
So if you had something in the pocket, it's not like it'd be obvious.
Dude, just real quick, I gotta self-brag a little bit. Number one, I never owned Stoner Gear with secret pockets. And I don't know if that's a brag or a confession.
I think it's a confession. Yeah, dude, that doesn't sound tight at all.
But one time, this group of older kids were trying to rob me and my friends. Like basically, they were so much bigger than us. They weren't even in high school with us. I think they were like the older brothers of guys who were seniors when we were freshmen.
Okay.
But they were all like where we were, and we had bought weed from someone they knew. Mm-hmm. And it was in like a vial. And they knew we had weed. And they were so much bigger than us that they didn't have to beat us up. Like, we were never going to resist them. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know, we're just happy they're not beating us up, basically.
Yeah.
So they can search us like cops, basically.
Yeah.
Like, and I am so proud of myself still. So I had like a winter jacket. And it was an Adidas, like it had lining and then like a filling, like, you know, like a down, it wasn't down, but like, you know, whatever, like it was a winter jacket. So I took a cigarette, dude, in my pocket and just real quick burned a hole in the liner, like just enough to get the vial in. And then just kind of like shoved it like into the fucking, you know, filling. I know, dude. I was so proud of myself. And they knew it too, dude. So they're like searching us. And they know we have the weed, and they eventually gave up. And he was pissed. He was like a cop, knowing that he like didn't find it. He's like, all right, go enjoy it. Go enjoy y'all's little high. Like we had robbed him. You know what I mean? He's like, y'all fucking deserve it. Whatever.
Like,
yeah.
Damn.
So I do see the utility, but you know, I feel like that would have been the first place he looked. You know what I mean? Like I go to the tongue because Stoner clothes were just coming out. Like when I got sent out. So
being able to hide stuff in the tongue. That's a good
the years between 99 and 02, like I feel like with the rise of like Limp Bizkit culture,
definitely.
It was like beginning in, you know, Columbine. But like, anyway, I do see the utility, but that remains like one of my proudest moments. And we got so fucked up, dude. It was like,
I hope so. Yeah, that must have been a sweet, sweet high.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. Dude. Yeah. Closed eye visuals.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So he says, you know, I got the secret pocket, just hand it over. You know, we're going to go smoke it after school anyways. I was like, okay. So I take out the glasses case, hand him the glasses case. He puts it in his pocket, you know, fidgets around with it in his pocket, empties it out, hands me back the glasses case. He's like, I do have glasses.
Okay. So that wasn't like a sleight of hand. You knew he was doing that. For a second, I thought he was like, look, you like.
No.
Got it.
Yeah. And witnessing this entire transaction behind us is the school police liaison officer. He's just staring at us the whole time.
That's not good, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, what goes through like your body? Like, do you turn around and see him?
No. For whatever reason, he like let us go.
Oh.
And whenever that kid got to first period, like the cop walked in, it was like, you're coming with me.
Oh, shit.
And then for whatever reason, they didn't catch up with me till second period.
What the fuck are they doing?
But they like pulled me out of gym class.
Damn.
And we're like.
Another Anthony Soprano Jr. moment. Dude.
Yeah. And I, you know, obviously like no big gym fan. And
still not worth missing gym class when you get sent to Excel. It's not worth it.
But this was just a little flavor of this. You're probably gonna like this about as much as the French teacher thing. But
I like the French teacher thing. I'm curious what happened. Hear
what I'm saying here. You'll get it. They for my time period, because I had it second period. They like at the beginning of the year were like, so if anyone like is interested, you can not do the regular gym stuff, and instead the like special kids are like getting out of like their room.
Special, dude.
I don't know.
Like, I thought you meant you were describing yourself. If you don't like gym, you're special.
No.
You now it seems like I'm laughing at I know
people
what you meant
with
by
mental handicaps.
Yeah, that's not what I thought you were saying. I thought you were like, we're elite because we don't do gym.
No.
We're special.
I mean, that clearly is true.
That's why I thought that's what you were saying. Like, I know that's what you believe.
But like, yes, they were like, if you just want to like hang out with them and like lightly supervise or like provide companionship of some kind, then you don't have to do gym. Like you can just hang out with them and like kind of like stand near the basketball hoop and just kind of be like, "What's up?"
Good.
So I was doing that. Like I was assigned to a guy. His name is Jeremy. He was tight as hell. I like Jeremy a lot. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah, definitely.
And
so you just watch him play basketball?
He wouldn't play basketball. It was just like there was basketball. Like there weren't people playing. Like it was
more of a landmark.
Gym started from a basketball court. You know, everyone else would have to go outside and like run around and shit.
Not you though.
And me and Jeremy just be like, you know, what are they teaching you back there, Jay? Like, you know, what are we doing?
Okay.
So yeah, I was just like standing there talking to him, and they were like, "You got to come with me." I'm like,
"Oh my god!"
I'm like, "Are you sure I can? Like, I can't just walk away from this."
Yeah, dude. Plus, who's gonna watch Jeremy? Dude?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you meant like I just can't do this to Jeremy, but also like, okay.
But you know, they were like found someone, and we're like, "Yeah, you got to come with us." And it was basically like, we really wish we could charge you, but like because it wasn't on you, like we technically have to only charge him. But like we're going to, and I don't know what happened with that. I assume that he did get charged.
Do you never talk to that kid again?
Nope.
Dang.
For a while he was like, I would type in his name every once in a while.
Yeah.
And nothing would come up. And I would say it was like 2 years ago. I was thinking about it, and I typed him into Facebook, and he was there. And he had like a couple like long posts that just like seems like he's doing well. Like he's got a daughter. It sounds like they have an awesome relationship. Like I was like, it's cool.
So that's good.
Didn't love his chances, and he seemed to have ended up on the narrow side of the distribution.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you catch a charge early in life like that, you know?
I don't know if he did or not. You know, I mean, like they said he did. It's not like I was in court. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and, you know, you can do different things with it from there, I guess. But still.
Because whenever I got out, I asked my friends, like, that I was talking to then, like, hey, what happened to him? And he did, I know, go back to school because their big like story, like his reputation was like, oh, the guy that looks for mushrooms under couch hurts, that guy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. We have a couple friends like that.
Yeah. And so he, I mean, like that, like the last time I saw him was the handoff. Like he went to his first period, I went to my second period. They were like, "Yeah, your parents are coming to pick you up. You are not going to be in school. Like you're expelled, or you're
on site.
You're suspended until like we're gonna have a meeting with your parents on Thursday where we'll discuss your future."
Wow.
And this was Monday.
Wow.
So Tuesday and Wednesday I was suspended. That was miserable.
Same deal, same grounding. Conditions.
Yeah. Thursday, somehow they like let me go to school regular, which like they later admitted was just like an oversight.
Okay.
And so
sorry we educated you for an extra day.
Yeah.
That was our fault.
But Thursday night we've got the thing, like the parent teacher meeting.
Jesus Christ, that's the meeting?
No. Like whenever they caught me with the weed, they were like,
the Monday to
I had
Thursday.
a lot of
I think you meant
parent-teacher meetings.
Yeah. I thought it was the one you talked about earlier.
The school didn't need to talk to me just once, like a lot of times.
Yeah.
No, this was another time.
Okay. Yeah.
And so they got the meeting. It's at the school, but it's like after hours. It's like 7 p.m. or something.
Dang.
So there's no one else in the building.
Okay.
So at the end of the meeting, I was like, this has been real. I love it. Yeah, y'all are doing great.
Yeah.
But I got to go to the bathroom. And in the meeting, they were like, he can't go to school here anymore. We have like a special programs, like School for Bad Kids that we send the.
I wanted to go to one of those so bad, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not
I really did. I asked my parents.
I heard they were bad. I didn't.
The one that they just sent you to community college, dude.
That sounds tight.
Like when I got back, I talked to all my friends there. Like they all ended up going there, just like a year to 2 years later. Like I was just early, so it was like, and you still got the Princeton High School like diploma. And when I got to Excel, I just sat in the back and because I was so far behind. They were just like sit in the back, catch up. Yeah, and it was like that was the best school I ever went to. Like, so I always wonder like what would have. But I guess your bad kid school was more like quarantine the fucking bad kids until we, get them out of here.
Food Lion had gone belly up in this area. I think they still have some of them in some other parts of the country.
Yeah.
We used to have Food Lions here. One of them, the city of Richardson bought, and if you ever get a traffic ticket in Richardson, you got to go to a former Food Lion that's now a court.
Okay.
And Special Programs is another rehab Food Lion.
Wow. Okay.
So you'd go to school in a Food Lion.
The Garland DMV, I think, might be something.
Yeah.
And they did a good job. I mean, I'm only now realizing it now that you like describe these other things. I'm like, maybe that one is.
It's weird. I don't know why they didn't just like turn into other grocery stores, but Food Lion for some reason had a lot of weird lives.
There's when that Whole Foods came in Uptown, that there's like an Albertsons that is no longer a grocery store, I believe.
That's correct.
Because so I guess.
It's about to be a grocery store again.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to build a high rise with a grocery store on the bottom floor.
Dang.
Yeah.
Uptown ain't what it used to be, dude.
It's not.
It's not the old vibrant neighborhood I remember.
That's right. But yeah, so they were like, yeah, you got to go to Special Programs. And I was like, I need to go to the bathroom.
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, I just kept walking.
Catch me if you can.
Yeah.
Dude, you're catch me if you canning out, dude.
I was. Yeah. And after the last attempts had gone not the way I wanted, like I wanted freedom, like I wanted to be out.
Did you have like a plan or just the sense that you wanted to be away from where you were? Because it's like, did you have money? Did you have a place to stay?
I had as much of a plan as I could think of, which like no and no.
Yeah. No, I'm wondering. Yeah, I've been in that exact place.
I was trying to think of my options and get as creative as possible.
You're like, fuck.
So here's what I came up with.
Okay.
Someone told me that there was like a place, piecing this together as an adult, I assume it's for like orphaned kids or like kids whose parents like abandon them or things like that. It's a place where like, there's some kids and like they're in a house and like there's some adults that are there to watch them.
A foster home.
Kind of. but like not exactly.
Okay.
It's in Plano. It's downtown Plano.
Is it the government runs it?
No, it's like a charitable thing, as best I know.
Okay.
And so, I was told, I don't remember if I knew this before walking in or if they explained this to me when I got there, but I think I knew walking in that like their guideline was that it was illegal for them to keep you there longer than 24 hours without notifying your parents, but you did have that 24 hours.
Okay.
So I was like, that's step one. Like, get there.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
So, and then we've got a night to think about things and like figure out next moves.
Sure.
Oh, so I walk out the door. My friend had like drawn me up a map because like he knew where it was and like knew where the school was. Like until I started driving, I had no idea where anything was.
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, just
no registration.
It's funny to hear like someone drew a map versus just like I Googled it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, he drew me a map. I couldn't read the map. I had no fucking clue.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
How helpful could that be?
No. So, back to the fucking, that lady who's like kind of chill. She worked at a library that was nearby. So I'm like, I'll just walk to the library.
God damn.
And was like, hey, whatever. And I think that, at that point, her dad was like, no more of this. No more.
Yeah. I kind of feel that.
And so my friend was like, hey, he's calling your parents right now. And I was like, all right, then I'll see you guys.
I got to get to the...
And so I'm, just back out, walking around. It's raining. I'm trying to find this place. And I end up, this is still there. I'm trying to remember the cross street. It's on 70. It's like along 75. It's got like a big NCX on it. I think because of North Central Highway, or referring to 75. It's in Plano, like so right now, anytime I drive by, so it's like kind of a tall office tower. I mean, I would guess like 8 stories, something like that.
Okay.
But then like a good amount of ground floor retail, like kind of stretching out. Like it's like a strip mall with like a 7-story building kind of like anchored on top of it. I
see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
And nowadays, it's on 75. I think it's Plano Parkway might be the cross street. I'm not sure.
Okay.
And I mean, it's just north of the George Bush Tollway. It's on your right side if you're going north. And nowadays, I always notice it because there's a Planned Parenthood there. And there's always people.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I noticed that when I drive up there. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So that used to have a CD store. It was part of a chain. I don't think that they were like huge, but it was called Warehouse Music. You remember Warehouse Music? Yeah, so there's a couple of them around here. It's called Warehouse Music. And so like, I just walked there because like I like music. I figured it would work out.
Why not? Yeah, sure.
Listen to some CDs and then like ask the lady behind the counter, like, can I use your phone?
Uh-huh.
And she was like, yeah. And so just like handed me the work phone, like dial, pick up receiver. No cell phones back then. I mean, there was some, but not many. And I'm just like, calling everyone being like, can I get a ride to City House? That was the name of the place.
Okay.
And eventually
City House should have a shuttle, by the way.
I don't know, dude.
But,
I think I might have called them and been like, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
And they were like, find a way to get here. Best of luck.
Yeah, that probably makes sense.
And so the clerk like catches on, is like also, she was younger. Yeah, I don't know how old she was, but like, late teens, 20s, something. And vaguely sympathetic,
Right. But her manager's gonna yell at her.
I think it was just her in the store.
Okay.
And it's pretty like it's 8-9 p.m.
Okay.
On like I said, it was a Thursday.
Actually, a music store, they're probably getting 3 kids a day.
You think so?
Can I use your phone and be like, I need a ride to City House?
But so eventually, like a customer comes in that I'm pretty sure, based on context, like no one explicitly said this, but like it seemed like he was a guy that like came in a decent amount, and like he was probably. I mean, I remember he had like the same English textbook that I used like in his car for some reason. So he was close to my age.
Okay.
He could drive.
Uh-huh.
But like if he was done with high school, it was like the year before or something like that.
Okay. But he was like a cool, chill, approachable guy. His vibe overall.
And she was like, hey, he definitely was. And she was like, hey, I think this kid needs a ride.
Yeah.
Like, are you free?
That's classic 90s music store culture, dude.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. Yeah. I mean, something died with that.
It's too bad. I wish there were spaces like that now.
I mean, the store I used to shoplift from routinely still exists, so I feel great about that. Shout out Princely Record Exchange.
Yeah.
Prex.
No, I mean, I think that Planned Parenthood is in the literal space where Warehouse Music was.
Dang.
I think.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I mean, it took up like a lot of that area, but I don't know. I might be fucking linking that incorrectly.
Yeah.
But, so they fucking, the guy, he took me there. I like walked in, was like, I'm the guy that called.
Shit, dude. You made it to City House?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And they were like, we can give you 24 hours. And I mean, like at that point, it's really late. So,
and that's when the 24 starts. It's not like calendar days or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Clock.
And I remember that I got to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So that was nice.
Very nice.
And then they, I was fucking soaked or whatever, but they were like, we don't have. I don't think they had clothes.
Shit.
Or if they did, I turned them down or whatever. Probably because the jeans weren't baggy enough. And that was a hard part of Excel for me, wearing clothes that like remotely fit.
I don't even want to touch it right now, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for wearing clothes that fit you.
I am now, but I wasn't then.
I think even then, I was not a JNCO kid, but I
was every day, dude.
I think JNCOs didn't pop hard until I left. Like I didn't really know about JNCOs.
I mean, they were pretty big when I was in 6th grade, which was 98, 97.
I had Bullheads. You remember Bullhead?
No.
And Sutters, which were like jeans you could buy at Pacific somewhere.
Okay.
So I remember they were like wider. I remember like getting shit from school, like teacher at school. And also, like you, I was like a small kid. So it was like, I was always being accused of like sagging my pants.
Yeah.
But it actually was like the bottoms are they're baggy.
Yeah.
They're not even like.
I was accused of that because I constantly did it because it was very dope.
You sagged?
Hell yeah.
So you're out there.
I still generally prefer. I mean, I don't know.
You mean like resting on your iliac crest?
Not like on my knees or anything.
Yeah.
But like
below your fucking ass, like full ass cheeks are not covered by pants.
Well, that's how underwear is up.
Yeah, but your full ass cheek of that part of your body is only covered by underwear.
Yeah, it kind of depends on where you're catching me in the day, but yeah.
Okay.
Certainly, we're spending some of the time.
I still remember, like, it's funny, like, specific quotes. Like, I remember walking into, actually, speaking of French ladies, dude, the, like, local, like, convenience store where I used to hang out, like, with my boys in small town Cranberry, New Jersey. The French lady would always be like, Alex, do not go to the deli. I know what you do. That's why I was like, did she have an accent when she was caring about you?
It wasn't over the top.
But, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't think that she was from France.
Okay. Yeah.
I think she was from, like, Nebraska or something.
She wasn't. Well, that's nice that she learned French well enough to teach it.
And, like, was a big fan. She, like, left that school to, like, teach at the Sorbonne for some reason.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's fuck this deli, dude. All right, come on.
So,
what are you wearing then if you don't take off your wet clothes?
Just wearing my wet clothes, I think.
That fucking sucks.
Or I might have taken the pants off and slid in bed, just wearing the boxers or something.
Okay, so they're basically like, go to bed.
Yeah. I mean, it's late.
Yeah. We don't have clothes for you. There's no shower?
I don't think they really wanted to fuck with it. Yeah.
It's just get in bed.
This is coming back to me. I slept in those pants.
Okay.
100%.
Damn.
I
had no idea this was your lead up to Excel, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the next morning, I'm like sitting there. I know that there was like a bus to school or whatever, so I'm like waiting on the bus.
City House kids take the bus to some school.
Yeah, to our school. Like it was near the school I went to.
But you're expelled from the school.
That is true. I mean, I think that they were like, we're going to expel you. Like this is a process that is started.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting there, and I see the family car pull up. And I'm like, here we go. And, parents just walk in. They're like, we're here for him. Like,
shit.
And I'm, I was certainly willing to put up lots of fights, but there were moments where I was like, yeah, what are your options here, bud?
Yeah.
You gave it a good go.
You're at fucking City House, dude.
I mean, you spent a night away from home.
Yeah.
You got a full overnight. Like,
what's up?
That was farther than a lot of people thought we could get. So
you're like those
let's
guys.
Let's regroup.
What was that?
Let's fall back and regroup.
Yeah. We made a good run. We've hit our limit. Let's fight another day.
Yeah.
I think that's commendable.
So
that makes sense at least.
So they take me to school. That's when
They still take you to school after all this?
Yeah.
Just let you chill. You're about to go to Excel.
It all makes sense. I can explain it, but I'm in the process of doing it.
You're right, dude. I'm fucking with the master storyteller, man. God damn.
Come on. So they take me to school. That's the point at which it's explained to me that I shouldn't have been in regular population yesterday. I should have been in school suspension. And they're like, so you're definitely in school suspension now?
We have to do ISS episode, dude.
I'd love to.
I mean, were you
a lot of
frequent it?
A lot of time.
Yeah.
And so fucking I get in there. I remember there was a kid in there who was like, hell yeah, it's over for y'all. They let me get the fucking thesaurus in here. I'm going to make some dope ass raps.
Oh, that's fun.
And I will always remember his line. I always kind of wonder if like it's actually a line from a song. Like it sounds too good for like him to just make it up.
Huh.
He said, I'm a playboy. You can call me Hef Jr. Or no. I get girls. You can call me Hef Jr. because I'm a playboy and I'm a black entrepreneur.
Very nice. I mean,
pretty good.
You gotta make that rhyme. That's a nice flow.
Yeah,
that's hard.
He wrote that while we were in ISS.
Pretty sick, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I really do think it's like more of the bad kids could rap. Like always, dude. More kids at Excel could rap than regular kids could.
Yeah.
Like, that's why when I started doing raps, I was like, when you're upset, you fucking kind of rap it out a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, because everybody was rapping it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, pretty tight.
Beatboxing.
Yeah. Like, but like, kids also would rap a lot.
Yeah.
But also nasty beatboxers.
Oh my God.
Like, definitely.
Unparalleled.
That kid that I was gloating about who tried to get me in trouble and then got in trouble, credit where it's due, nastiest beatboxer at Excel.
Wow.
And I think invented Excel beatboxing.
Nice.
Because it was kind of like, is this allowed?
Yeah.
And he just kept doing it. And like, no one was like, it's not. And then it became like a thing everyone loved about him. And then it worked out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I do my ISS, walk out of the building after. My parents are waiting there to pick me up. They take me home. They're like, fucking go upstairs. Like, your brother's up there. Like, y'all just fucking stay up there. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 was a brand new game at the time.
Okay.
Big fan of it. So Daniel and I were just playing that.
Okay.
They walk in. They're like, hey, we need you to pause it. We got some friends downstairs we want you to meet.
Okay.
Those are the escorts.
All right. Paint a picture, dude. What'd they look like?
There's a guy and a girl.
Guy and a girl.
Girl looked like she could fuck you up too.
Yeah. Okay. Both bigger than you?
Yeah. They were off-duty cops.
Okay.
From like, I don't know how my parents, because there was like.
Did you have an educational consultant? Do you know?
No, I did not.
Okay. How'd they find out about Excel?
Googled it.
Okay.
I mean, I think back then it was, Ask Jeeves or whatever.
Yahoo
did.
Alta Vista.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so they fucking we're like, you do friends. The guy starts talking, and so yeah, I mean, it was the guy was kind of like is a little bit African American, like probably past his white at times.
But he wasn't.
Correct.
Yeah.
The lady was like, she was a white lady, but kind of like darker complexion, like definitely brown hair or black hair.
Okay.
Had it in a ponytail.
What do they look like when you see them?
I'm trying to remember everything.
Are they smiling or are they like stone cold, like, don't fucking look at me?
in between, like firm, but not like
they're in
extra
charge.
clear that they're in charge, but not like needing to like menace you.
Okay,
does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, the reason I ask, I didn't get escorted like that, but it sounds like it was a mixed bag. Like fully, some people were awful.
Oh, some people got the Paris Hilton shaken out of bed.
Yeah.
Hey, scumbag, come with us.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Like, that's tough.
And kids would always compare notes. You know, like whenever a kid arrived at Excel, it'd be like, hey, who are your escorts? And there were some repeat ones.
Really?
I mean, the dude who, the officer that ended up doing time for, if anyone wants to, the Excel Academy Wikipedia page has a little bit of this story captured on there.
Yes, and we will address it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
he would escort kids pretty regularly if they were in the Houston area.
Now that you mention it,
But I mean, there just wasn't that many kids from Dallas, honestly.
Yeah, it's weird.
There really weren't.
Yeah.
There was more kids from like New York, New Jersey.
Yeah, it's weird. It was like coastal plus Houston. Yeah. And then I would say central Texas, like Austin, maybe some San Antonio action. Mm-hmm. And then they're all over the place. Dallas is might as well be Chicago. Because that was the
educational consultant thing.
Yeah, and I think some of it is like an offshoot from the Northeastern like rehab bracket.
Yeah.
Where basically it's like find out who has insurance and send them to Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Which we'll have to do an episode on that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's like why it concentrates up there. It's interesting. Yeah. So yeah, there weren't many Dallasites.
So I didn't run into many other people. I only remember one dude because the escort, the guy's name was Sebastian.
Okay.
So I thought that was kind of a funny, effeminate name for a
Definitely.
dude who was like here to fuck me up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to like, you know, put all the pieces together, a thing that I learned like later on a visit is that whenever the school was like, you're expelled, my parents were like, we're going to take care of this. We just need somewhere to keep them like for the day.
Okay.
And so they were like, that's fine. And so
collusion,
what was supposed to happen was that the escort, like that I be led from ISS to the escort's car, like on school campus.
Oh, shit.
And be like, you're gone.
Yeah.
But they got caught in traffic.
That's funny, dude. Yeah. So you got one last Tony Hawk in.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
And I mean, that would have been, I feel like, more traumatic. Like, it was nice that I was at least at my home.
In that context, I can see how it would be. Like the opposite of the Paris Hilton experience. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, but so, you know, they were like, hey, we want you to meet some friends. Just the euphemisms have always been hilarious to me. That they were like, we want you to meet some friends. I came down there and they were like, you're going on a 1 to 3 month adventure. They used the word adventure, and they were very specific that the maximum amount of time was 3 months.
Okay.
And like, as I'm driving down, I'm like, 3 months.
Arrested Development voice.
Yeah, it was not. And so as I'm driving down, like the thing that's ringing in my head is like, dude, I know teenagers, they got short attention spans. When I get back, no one is going to remember me. Like, I will be entirely moved on from. Like, no one is going to give a shit. It's like, we fucking made this life without TC. Like, we've had 3 months without him. Like, you know, everything has changed.
That's so sad, dude.
And then, like, I get there. And I don't know, we've been going for so long. I don't, like, what do you think?
What do you mean?
Like
we can't start talking about your first day once you get. No, we have to be like you get there and then we take it up somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
Because otherwise the listener's gonna get fucked up, dude.
Are we doing it today though?
I can't, dude.
Okay, I understand.
I'm fading a little bit.
I understand. You're right. That's a good call, but I wish there was
dude,
time.
I know what happens and I'm on the fucking edge of my seat, dude. Like that's the other reason. I just feel like it's like the story is propelling us forward. But also, if we like sleep another night, it's like I think I'm excited to hear it. I can't imagine that you're anything less excited to tell it.
Yeah,
and I think that'll build up and it'll be good. I think it's a long journey, dude.
It is a long journey.
And this has been fucking incredible. Thank you for sharing this. I knew very little of this. I really appreciate hearing it, or I'd forgotten some of it. But the real shit, like I know we've had our journey together. But and I'm here with you, But to right out of the gate, you know, share shit like that, I think is like you meant what you said about, you know, telling the full story.
Yeah.
And I definitely thank you for that.
Thanks,
I'm
man.
happy to be here, to be part of it. And I can't help but think it'll resonate with a lot of people.
I can't wait to hear more of your stories.
Yeah, I mean, we'll work them in, man. I mean, you know what I mean? Well,
oh, I know we will.
Yeah.
We got plenty to get to.
Yeah, I'm very excited, dude. I think, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Should we call it?
Yeah.
All right.